Hi Aries, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Aries and Libra on Mondays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Robin Wood Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description below. So I do just want to tell you guys a little bit more about how I shuffle cards. Sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I usually don't take cards unless they jump out like these ones have. And usually when they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back in and continue shuffling. But my main goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So it looks like we have 7 cards, and that makes 8. So just before we get started, I do want to give you guys a quick reminder that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles has that tendency to be one of those slower moving energies, but I think that in this particular scenario, it's more about the energy that it brings with it, right? So the King of Pentacles is an energy of stability. And I think in particular, for a lot of you guys, this has to do with your material stability because, well, where the King of Pentacles represents sort of those earthly qualities, you know, it represents earth signs such as Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So I think that a lot of you guys are really focused on your money, career, and perhaps even education for a lot of you, because I see this 8 of Pentacles. But I think that right now the name of the game is stability. And I think that for a lot of you guys, you're really working towards that as much as you can. But there's definitely been some kind of hardship or some kind of a betrayal, because I see this 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords is all about that heartbreak, that devastation, that betrayal. So I know that for some of you guys, you've received some kind of like an event here where you've become disillusioned. I think that for a lot of you guys, you had sort of this ideal of what the situation was, and then this 10 of Swords here was kind of a very painful moment for you guys in which you kind of had to realize that, hey, the things are not the way that I'd perceived them to be. I think that there was a shattering of your expectations here, and now you're sort of rebuilding on what you had before. So with this new information that you've received, you're trying to work forward in a way that is most beneficial to you, because I see this 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the 8 of Pentacles is all about getting a skill or education or just something that'll further yourself in like your ability to produce. So I'm thinking that for a lot of you guys, you had sort of an ideal of what a certain career was or how it worked out in the field or whatever, and now you've sort of realized, hey, if I want to sort of have the quality of the life or the like live by your code, you kind of have to take a different stance, because I know that for a lot of people there's sort of this this expectation of what something is like until you kind of get there into the trenches and you realize that what things look like aren't always what they are, because I see this 8 of Cups with this 6 of Pentacles. Now, the 8 of Cups is a card about walking away. So the fact that you have this 8 of Pentacles in reverse with the 8 of Cups tells me that you guys perhaps were on the wrong track. I think that there is a better track for you guys somewhere out there, especially if it has to do with career or even education, because the 8 of Pentacles to me is very much a card about education. And when you have the 8 of Cups with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, it definitely feels like to me that you'd taken an approach or something, or tried to start a career in which you guys weren't necessarily going to be happy in the long run. And with the 6 of Pentacles here, I feel like there's sort of this aspect of money that you might be worrying, right? Because it could be that for a lot of you guys, you were trying to pursue something that you felt very passionate about or very strongly about in a traditional sense that maybe didn't produce enough money for you. I would still say, like, if you're truly passionate about something, pursue it anyway, but try to change your approach in pursuing it. Perhaps there's better ways of taking that approach that will be a little bit more realistic for you. Because, like, let's take the medical field just as an example. I know that for a lot of people, like, you think medical field and you think like doctor, but there's also a lot of other things that you can do, right? There's nurses, there's all different kinds of techs, there's all different kinds of people that work in a hospital. And sometimes, being a doctor per se might not necessarily be the way to go, because, you have the financial burden of like medical school, and then you also have the astronomical amounts of stress that going to like a medical school can produce, right? But that doesn't mean that you need to necessarily give up on a dream altogether. It just means that you need to take a different approach. And I think that once you kind of walk away from old expectations, because this is all about releasing your old expectations. Like I said earlier, this Ten of Swords is all about having some of those expectations, come down. And now with this Eight of Cups, you're sort of walking forward in a way that makes more sense for you. And from this Eight of Cups, we're going into the Nine of Cups, which tells me that you guys are going to be a lot happier, right? Because the Nine of Cups is all about that emotional fulfillment. It's the happiness fulfilled card, right? This is the wish fulfillment card. So I think that for a lot of you guys, even though you may have had like a different wish, very recently, I think that for some of you guys, it could be like as far as like a year, 6 months, or even like yesterday that your wish kind of shifted. But you're getting sort of this change in perspective, this change of paradigm, and that's going to allow you to reach your goals a lot faster. So with the Judgment card here, I think that you guys are kind of doing that. You're really evaluating things, and you're really looking at things in a way that's very objective, and you're sort of not giving up on anything, because I see this Phoenix symbolism here. And the symbolism of the Phoenix is all about rising from the ashes. And with this energy, I feel like you guys are trying to move forward in the way that's best for you. Like all these cards point towards moving forward. And I think that's the most important thing here, is that you guys realize that in the current situation that you were in, you're faced with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card about not receiving what you're putting out. And it's putting work into a situation and not being able to get what you want back out of it. So it feels like you're kind of like, with all the energy and all the amount that you were getting, you're kind of getting chump change. And, it's funny that I say like change in the sense of like money, but I think that for some of you guys, it's more like an energetic thing. Like I think that for a lot of you guys, you were putting in like 120%, but you weren't really getting that back. So I know that I may sound a lot like pretty repetitive here, but all of these cards are telling me that you need to sort of change your approach in order to get what you want. Because I see this this King of Wands here, but the King of Wands is in reverse, right? And the King of Wands is symbolic or representative of fire signs, which are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, Aries such as yourself. So I think that what's going on here is that because you have this King of Wands in reverse, the fact that you're putting in so much energy into this situation and not getting anything out of it tells me that you're not really feeling like yourself. You're feeling out of whack. And like the King of Wands more specifically is representative of passion, drive, energy, even emotion to some degree. So it feels like you guys are trying to really equilibrate yourself, like really get back to a point where you're feeling like yourself again. And I feel like with this King of Pentacles, you're going to receive so much more stability and so much happiness when you start to change your approach and get things the way that you need them to. So my biggest advice for you right now, Aries, is to do just that. But that was your reading for Summer Round, Aries. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new videos for Aries and Libra on Mondays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.